I don't need therapy. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, you do.
Ignore the crappy editing in the beginning. I'm learning how to edit and it's very exciting for me. But long story short, we all need therapy. This is going to be a really quick video. I'm not going to go through all the ins and outs of why I think every single person on the planet would benefit from therapy. I'm just going to share the things that I have gotten out of it. Maybe there are things that you might need too. Everything that I have learned in therapy, I have been able to apply in my personal and professional life. When I was looking for a therapist, I kissed a lot of frogs. And I would recommend that you do the same. You have to find, it's like a partnership, it's a relationship. You have to find someone that you trust and that you have compatibility with, and you have to figure out what that means for you. And sometimes that means kissing a lot of frogs for you to figure out exactly what it is that you're looking for. I knew that I wanted coaching in professional boundaries, tactics to have difficult conversations. I knew that I needed tactics to work through how much empathy I have, because the empathy that I have is the kind that if you were to bump your elbow, my stomach starts to hurt and it hurts for a while. I don't laugh when people fall down. I have physical pain. So I wanted a therapist that could help me work through all of that. And find coping mechanisms for all of that. And the focus for my therapy sessions has been professional, my professional development, professional growth, because that's what I needed at the time. But everything, as I said before, everything applied to at home. It has taught me to be calmer and more honest and open and set even personal boundaries and be clear about my communication about those personal boundaries. The worst thing that you can do is be offended about something that someone did to you that they didn't even know was a problem. It's really important that you have an outlet, that you have an avenue outside of your normal day-to-day. There's nothing better than if you have the right therapist talking through a tough situation. Sometimes my therapist gives me an answer. More times than not, she doesn't. Most of the time we just talk through things. I'm like, all right, I think I have a couple of ideas and I'm going to go run through this. And then I figure it out. It's very, very important to have something like that. On the flip side, HR deals with some nasty stuff sometimes. We have to terminate employees. We have to tell employees they're being rejected for a position, being rejected for higher pay. Tell employees that we can't help them with housing or their car payment that they're behind, or a million other things that I wish we could say yes to every request. But it's not feasible. I've dealt with employees that have committed suicide and I've worked with their families. Those particular situations, therapy was the best thing that I could have done. That particular employee, I knew them very well, and I spent quite a few hours working through, could I have seen something? Should I have done something? What was the last conversation that we had? I shoulda, coulda, woulda, all of this stuff that I had no possible control over, that my empathetic brain just fixated on. I knew that it was the right time for me to to call my therapist and say, hey, I gotta talk through a situation with you. Again, that situation gave me tools like, hey, these are the things that I want you to consider if these emotions come up, if these questions come up. If you do see an employee that potentially is struggling through something that could either lose their job for it or self-harm or harm others, or here are some things that you can offer to them. My therapist was amazingly helpful in those situations. And sometimes it was just a matter of, hey, I have to terminate someone today that I've had a relationship with for 10 years. And I know that they're the breadwinner and they are the only breadwinner. And they have grandkids that live with them and pets, and they just bought a house and they were so excited about all of this stuff in the future. And I just had a conversation with them about how excited they were. And now I'm the one saying, hey, we're taking away your livelihood. The therapist helped me fix that way of thinking. My therapist helped me fix I'm taking something from this person, and it helped me manage all of that so that I can move forward professionally and personally and not go home and look at myself in the mirror and just like, oh, did I do the right thing? it's never perfect. You're going to have things that you second guess. You're going to have things that you wish you would have done better, that years later you look at like, oh my God, why did I make that decision? Or why did I use those words? That's natural. I think that's normal. A therapist will help you manage all of that and make sure that you're setting yourself up in a position where you are protected mentally, physically, and that you're putting healthy boundaries for yourself so that you manage things that are manageable for you. I'm very honest with my bosses and my people around me. If I need a minute, I take a minute, because I'm no good to anybody if I don't. Therapy plays a part in all of that. Just be patient. Please be patient. It might take you a little while to find a therapist. It might take you a little while to find someone that you're comfortable with. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your therapist in the beginning. It's very slow. You guys are getting to know each other and learning how to dance together. Maybe your therapist has 2 left feet and they're not the right one. Or maybe they're really blunt and honest with you and you need somebody to softball those pitches to you a little bit. That's okay to say. It's all part of working through it. So please, 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 if you are choosing to work in human resources, if you are choosing to work in any field that you're in charge of people and there's potential for you to be dealing with hard decisions on behalf of those people, or for them to come to you in time of crisis, whether it's personal and professional, consider getting a therapist. Consider getting a healthy avenue, a healthy advocate, because that's what a therapist is. They are your advocate for your mental health.